Regular season high school basketball is wrapping up, local wrestlers are moving on to states, and Bennett hockey won a thriller in overtime. Hello Naperville sports fans and welcome back to another episode of NSW. I'm your host, Joe Kennedy. Waubonsee boys basketball took on Warren Township over the weekend in a matchup that went down to the final possession. Warrior Tyreek Coleman and Blue Devil Jackson Davis are two of the state's best guards, so let's see who leads their team to the non-conference win. Waubonsee Valley is on the road at the Indian Creek Shootout in Shabbona, Illinois. They take on the Warren Township Blue Devils, who look to end the Warriors' four-game winning streak. Waubonsee enters 26-1 and is ranked 7th in Class 4A. Warren sits at 19-9. As we tip off here in Shabbona, Warrior Tyreek Coleman receives possession and works the ball with Josh Tinney. Coleman attacks the rack and scores within the opening seconds of the game. On the defensive end, Coleman intercepts the ball from the Blue Devils, commands the break, and finds Moses Wilson on the alley-oop. The Blue Devils look to end the scoring run and get it from a nice layup, attacking the paint from Javarion Banks. Jackson Davis runs the fast break for Warren, but he is denied by Chris Porcozo. Coleman takes the ball coast to coast, Euro-stepping around the defense and scoring plus the foul. The Warriors lead 13-4. Off the inbound, Warren is looking for some points and get them from Jack Wolf, who lays it in for 2 points. Coleman gets the pass from Porcozo, and the Illinois State commit puts the ball on a platter to Wilson for another alley-oop. The Warrior offense catches the Blue Devils sleeping as Wilson breaks free and he hammers one home from the post. The electric first quarter puts Waubonsee up 24-10. As the second quarter gets underway, Blue Devil Zach Osborne opens things up with a challenging score in the paint. The Blue Devils look to continue to feed Osborne, who gets his spot and finishes strong, earning the first 4 points to open the second. Waubonsee ends the scoring run with this Porcozo three-pointer. The Warriors lead 27-16 about 3 minutes into the second. The Blue Devils continue to slowly crawl their way back as Davis connects with Braylon Walker, who knocks down the three-pointer. Some great defense by the Blue Devils forces a Warriors turnover. Banks scores the acrobatic layup, earning him a trip to the free throw line. Waubonsee would end the half up 36-27. The Blue Devils come out of the half with some energy. Banks showcases his defense as he intercepts the Warriors and scores on the fast break. The Warriors fall asleep on defense, and it's Blue Devil Andrew Watson who finishes the lob attempts, giving the Blue Devils 4 quick points. Banks continues to provide for Warren as he breaks free from the double. Then he knocks down a long three to make it a 5-point game. It's 41-36 Waubonsee midway through the third. The Warriors have had enough as it's Porcozo who gives the defender a nice move, creating some space for the step-back jumper. It's Coleman again who sizes up the Warren defender and attacks the paint for the 2 points. Warriors go up 45-36. The Blue Devils show their ball movement as they swing it until Owen Squire knocks down the corner three. Squire keeps the hot hand going as he hits another corner three, making it 47-42, still in favor of Waubonsee. As the quarter winds down, Walker knocks down a buzzer-beating three-pointer to close out a strong third quarter for Warren. Waubonsee leads 49-48. As the fourth is underway, Banks is left wide open in the corner, and he ties the game off at 51. It's the first tie since it was 0-0. More than halfway through the fourth, Wilson looks for the three-pointer. However, Coleman comes in for the putback layup to make it 55-53 with 2 minutes to go. Coleman finishes with 22 points. Coleman attacks the paint before kicking it out to Porcozo, who knocks down the three-pointer. It's a low-scoring fourth, and the quick 5-0 run puts the Warriors up 58-53. With under a minute left, the Blue Devils need to knock something down. Banks kicks it out to Squire, and he hits Nylon for 3. Waubonsee still up by 2. After a Warrior turnover, Warren has a chance to tie or win the game on the final possession. There's miscommunication on the inbounds, and Wilson slams it home. Warren nearly completes the comeback, but Waubonsie hangs on for the win and improves its record to 27-1.
Naperville Central celebrates senior night as the Redhawks honor their seniors before taking the court against Metea Valley. The Mustangs seek revenge after losing to the Hawks by 10 on January 7th. The Redhawks are down 7-2, but a wide-open Ryder Erdman changes that with a three-point basket. Jake Nosek works the ball in the short corner until he finds Khalil Jones, who goes off the glass. Mustangs hold a 16-7 lead, but Connor Sands helps out by doing it himself with a nice juke and banks it in. Later on, Metea nearly turns it over, but Tyler Miller's reflexes keeps the possession alive. He dribbles, pulls up for a long three, and it goes in. The Mustangs get a stop on defense, and Nosek throws the ball ahead to Trey Watkins, who puts on the moves and lays it in. Metea leads 30-11 after one. The Redhawks get a spark in the second quarter, starting with a trifecta from Nate Abrahamson. Then Alex Leibel looks to pass, but instead takes the three himself and swishes it home. Metea turns it back on halfway through with Dominic Smith attacking the painted area and puts in the deuce. Halftime approaches and Watkins ends it in style with another nice lay-in to beat the buzzer. It's 44-25 black and gold at the break. Metea displays the same game plan in the second half with Jake Nosek, who shoots for three and kaboom. Nosek with 20 big ones in the game. Then he finds a streaky Watkins, and Houston, we are a go for launch. Watkins and Nosek combine for 40 points, and the Mustangs take it 72-43.
Naperville Central boys bowling made it to state for the second time in 3 years. After the break, we'll take a closer look at the group of Redhawk seniors who've helped change the program.
Okay, 500 deluxe garden gnomes. Wow.
I only meant to order 5. There's not enough money in my account for these. I'm gonna get charged.
2 things I just can't deal with: overdraft charges and garden gnomes. But your BMO Smart Advantage checking account gives you an extra day to avoid an overdraft fee.
Nice to see a bank cutting people some slack.
Well, mistakes happen, and we give you time to correct them.
So you don't like gnomes, huh? What about that one?
That one I like a lot.
When it comes to interest rates, it seems the Fed only knows one direction: up. That's not fair. If you're fed up with high rates, head over to Fair Oaks Ford. You can get 0.9% APR financing for 66 months. Now that's fair. Plus, you'll get what J.D. Power called the best customer experience in the business. Fair Oaks Ford on Ogden Avenue in Naperville. You've got a friend in the car business.
Shop online 24/7 at fairoaksford.com.
Naperville Central boys bowling rolled their way to the IHSA state finals for the second time in 3 years. They have been led by a class of seniors who've all recorded program highs across the past 4 years. NSW's Matt Lauterbach has more on the Redhawk seniors for our latest feature story presented by Fair Oaks Ford.
With a program that is just 8 years old, Naperville Central boys bowling rolled their way to the IHSA state finals for the second time in 3 years. The Redhawks brought back 3 bowlers from their 2023 state team, with seniors Nate Taverna, Tommy Creightonpoth, and Aiden Lee all returning as 4-year varsity starters.
To see it grow in 5 years to become super competitive, and then the 6th year, Nate, Tommy, Aiden, Sean, Nate McKinley, Ethan Rupp, for them to get to state was just everything that we've always hoped for students here. Now to repeat it a couple years later, and again to have the 3 of them, Nate and Tommy and Aiden, it feels great. It feels great to be able to do that twice with them.
The trio led the Redhawks to a 16-3 regular season record and 2 tournament wins this winter, a first for the program. However, in late November, the Redhawks nearly saw their dreams of another trip downstate shatter as Aiden Lee suffered a broken right wrist and left elbow in a fall. The Redhawks turned to their depth to fill the void, with other varsity team members such as Spencer Pierpoint and DJ Benton stepping up and gaining valuable reps. Finally, after sitting out for over 6 weeks, Lee was cleared to return to action just in time for the team's senior night match and the postseason run.
Honestly amazing because I didn't expect to be able to bowl again after my injury. Because the doctor said I was going to be cleared the week of sectionals, but it was actually before senior night. So just, again, it was just a surreal feeling being able to bowl for senior night and then obviously for the playoffs.
With Lee back in the lineup, the Redhawks soared in the playoffs with a 3rd place finish at regionals to make their 6th consecutive team appearance at sectionals. Hosting sectionals for the first time in their home at Lyle Lanes, they delivered in the clutch, finishing 3rd again to make it back to state. At state bowling in O'Fallon, the team finished Friday in 15th place and failed to advance to the Saturday session. However, Creighton-Poth and Taverna were able to advance to Saturday as individuals in their final day as Redhawk bowlers, with Creighton-Poth finishing 19th and Taverna in 48th.
We had a lot of connections as a team. The team 2 years ago, great connection of guys. And then the same thing with this year. You know, we were all very close. We were all one family. We all supported each other, held each other accountable.
The trio made an immediate impact on the Central program, helping turn the red and white into state contenders. Now they prepare to graduate as the 3 all-time pinfall bowlers in school history. A journey that began together in middle school ends with the highs of making it back to state as seniors and leaving a legacy that will carry on throughout the program.
I just hope that we left them with like a nice little starting point, showing them like what state actually feels like, what it's like being down there, and once you're down there, you always want to go back down there. You always want to try your best.
In middle school, just bowling every Friday, every Saturday together, and just like leading up all the way to this, just finishing out high school bowling with them it's just amazing.
It's a testament to the 3 of them, the pride that they had in coming to Naperville Central, the work ethic that they put in, everything from freshman year to all of their off-season work, to becoming leaders, to fitting in, to helping to nurture and welcome everybody that came in. 4 years was too short.
For Naperville Sports Weekly, I'm Matt Lauterbach.
We'll stay on the lanes after the break as we check on 2 Neuqua Valley girls bowlers who competed at sectionals. Then we'll check on Bennett Hockey, who's looking to make a postseason run.
We live in a safe community, but not a crime-free community. If you see something, say something. Be a Naperville Crime Stopper.
Local news is your lifeline. Let the Daily Herald help you navigate your world with solid reporting, good advice, and a much-needed diversion or two.
Although no DVC schools advanced as a team, Neuqua Valley juniors Anaya Emerson and Chanel Edwards advanced as individuals. Let's see who will move on to the state finals next weekend in Rockford. Kickstarting things off is Edwards of Neuqua Valley. After a series of 606 in the morning, she does even better in the afternoon. She starts it off with a 231 in Game 4. Emerson is the next Wildcat junior to attack the lanes. In her first sectional appearance, she picks up a strike here. After Morgan Park won back-to-back Chicago Public League City Championships for the first time since 2011-2012, the Mustangs look to make some noise in the IHSA. Senior LaShawn Tasker-Lewis bowls a strike here. Mustang teammate Bree Stewart joins the strike party as the Morgan Park senior hits her mark. Next up is Andrew Thunderbolt senior Emily Lewis as she bowls a perfect strike into the pocket. She leads all bowlers on the day with an overall score of 1,343. Donning the blue and gold bows, Richard senior Natalie Stahulik steps right up and the Bulldog takes care of business. Lockport sophomore Olivia Masterik makes her presence known as she delivers a strike. She ends the day with a total score of 1,145 as the sectional title is coming down between Lockport and Morgan Park. Porter's junior Brooke Stroud delivers a strike and also the highest individual score for Lockport on the day at 1,179. Supported by Andrew's vibrant team chants, Cadence Bruno gets her adrenaline and celebration pumping as the ball thunders down the lane for the strike. She bowls to a score of 1,236. Wildcat Anaya Emerson makes another appearance, making it look easy as she delivers the blow to the pins. She concludes a great junior season. Wildcat Chanel Edwards' string of success continues here with another strike. She would end the day with the second highest individual score from any bowler. She's the first from Neuqua Valley since 2006 to head to state. Her afternoon series is the best from anyone at the sectional. After knocking out all the pins, Richards Jr. Katie Barr is rewarded nicely with some high fives all around. Morgan Park looks to pull ahead of Lockport as sophomore Quiana Pickney gets another strike for the Mustangs. She finishes as the top Morgan Park bowler with a score of 1,181. Bree Stewart is up again for the Mustangs, taking charge with a nice strike. Morgan Park takes home the first place plaque with a team score of 5,648. Lockport finishes just 19 pins back in second, while Andrew and Richards secure the final team spots for the state meet in third and fourth respectively. Enter tonight's matchup as the 7th seed and winners of the CCHL after a 19-1 regular season. York White looks to pull off an upset as the 26th seed, as the winner will move on to play Deerfield in the round of 16. Under 10 minutes to go in the first, and the Dukes have possession. Drew Petzarelli shoots, and Bennett goalie Joel Cohn gives up a rebound as Robert Salerno capitalizes. The green and white go up 1-0. The Dukes look to extend their lead as we go across center ice. Griffin Hayes rips a shot, but Cohn shows off the glove for the save. The Dukes lead 1-0 after the first. Bennett gets a great chance in the second period. Gianluca Descola fights his way towards net, trying to sneak the puck past the goalie, but gets denied. Thomas Dusick tries to pounce on the rebound, but York goalie Alex Pastersick makes another save. On the next play, Hudson Holwick takes a shot, but Pastersick and York squash the Red Wings' chance once again. This time, it's the Dukes on the attack. Alexander Golden Albergo rifles a shot as Mitchell Fafinski tries to tap in the rebound, but Bennett goalie Cohn makes a save. York wins the draw, but Owen Riley wins the puck back for the Red and Black. He shows off some speed and shoots on goal, but it gets saved by Pastersick. The second period is goalless, and York leads 1-0 after 2. With under 10 minutes left in the game, and the Red Wings try to tie it up. Michael O'Rourke tries to send one towards the net, but it gets blocked. The puck finds his tape, and he wrists one past the keeper. Bennett ties up the contest at 1. The green and white are looking to respond here in the middle of the third period. Jack Nahamik rips a shot on net, but Bennett goalie Cohn gets a big save for the Red Wings to keep it tied at 1. With under 4 minutes to go, Hudson Schlee sends a pass tape to tape, connecting with O'Rourke, who dekes the goaltender and goes backhand top shelf for the goal. Just like that, Bennett leads 2-1 after a great setup and breakaway goal. York is on the power play with 2 to go. The puck is sent on net, and a scrum ensues where Duke forward Francesco Sanfilippo sends the puck into the back of the net to tie it up at 2. We're now heading into overtime after 3 periods. In OT, the Red Wings have the puck and look for the winner. Schlee once again puts in a perfect pass, but this time to Davin Frasco. He blasts one past the goalie, and it lifts Bennett into the round of 16 of the Blackhawk Cup. The Red Wings come back from a 1-0 deficit and will face 10th-seeded Deerfield next week. Let's head over to Echo Lanes in Morris, where Neuqua Valley bowler Chanel Edwards earns a spot at the state meet. Edwards had a solid morning session, picking up multiple strikes en route to an overall score of 606 after 3 games. The Wildcat turned it up a notch in the afternoon by recording a score of 720, the best out of anyone from the sectional. Watch some of her strikes from the second part of the day as Edwards finishes in second place individually. The Wildcat Jr. is the first Nequa bowler to qualify for the IHSA Girls State Meets since Amanda Chandler from 2004 to 2006. A congratulations to the Naperville Central Athletics Hall of Fame class of 2025. Tiffany Chen, Tim Satsko, Herb Matter, Derek Rose, Corey Blitzer, and former Central principal Tom Paulson were the 6 inductees this year. Chen is the lone athlete from the NSW era. She's a 4-time All-State tennis player, and the 2016 grad won the 2013 State Singles Championship. Wrestling sectionals were held at both the boy and girl levels as many Naperville area teams were represented. Let's close the show after the break and see who moves on to state.
Okay, 500 deluxe garden gnomes. Wow.
I only meant to order 5. There's not enough money in my account for these. I'm gonna get charged.
2 things I just can't deal with: overdraft charges and garden gnomes. But your BMO Smart Advantage checking account gives you an extra day to avoid an overdraft fee.
Nice to see a bank cutting people some slack.
Well, mistakes happen, and we give you time to correct them.
So you don't like gnomes, huh? What about that one?
That one I like a lot.
Two dealerships, side by side, identical in every way. What makes the difference? The experience. That's why more people choose Fair Oaks Lincoln. Incredible selection, knowledgeable salespeople, and a world-class experience you can't find anywhere else. Get 0% APR financing on most new Lincoln models this month at Fair Oaks Lincoln in Naperville, where the dealership experience makes the difference.
A trip to Champaign is on the line as we hit the mats for the Hinsdale Central Wrestling Sectional. 6 of our area wrestlers remain at large as we head deep into day 2, so let's begin the blood round. The 113-pound wrestleback is first with North's Adam Beadon getting early momentum on Maris Joe Bronski. Beadon fights through the trenches, but Bronski reverses the route, and now he's the one bull riding Beadon. Bronski sinks in the half Nelson and gets the pin to move on to the Constellation round, and Beadon's season is over. To the 120 wrestleback with Central's Jacob Cochran, taking out his anger on Batavia's Kyle Pasco. It takes Cochran some time, but gains full control once he gets on top and takes a 14-2 decision. Cochran falls in the 3rd place match, but still takes 4th, while Nick Garcia from Marmion takes 1st. At 150, Tyler Sternstein is fighting to keep his season alive, but Vince Tortorello from Glenbard West wants it more, and he's victorious 6-4. Sternstein ends his season with the final record of 35-11. Is it 3rd time's the charm for North with Tafik Ibragimov at 215? It looks promising as he fights for points on Mount Carmel's Leonard Siegel. However, Siegel turns the tide and takes charge of the match to win 9-4 and sends Ibragimov home. 3rd place in the heavyweight shows Will Urbeck getting aggressive on Jacoby Spraggins. It's a low-scoring match, but Spraggins saves the best for last with a takedown on Urbeck and wins the 3rd place match. Urbeck finishes 4th, while West Aurora's Alfonso Aguilar wins it all. The 175-pound championship sees Henry Rydwelski in a 1-1 tie with Vince Testa. Time is ticking down, and Rydwelski goes to work by getting the 3-point takedown just before the buzzer and is your champion at 175. Rydwelski, Urbeck, and Cochran are 3 of our area wrestlers qualifying for the state series.
We're at Schaumburg High School for day 2 of an IHSA girls wrestling sectional. Naperville area competitors are looking to punch their ticket down to states, which will be held in Bloomington on February 28th. Starting with the consolation match at 170 pounds is Batavia's Emma Abate putting Wabanzi's Amani McIntosh onto her back. Abate holds down her opponent for a pin as time runs out in the 3rd period, resulting in a 6-0 win for the Bulldog. Huntley's Natalie Aguirre would go on to beat Abate in the wrestlebacks, with Aguirre securing 3rd place over Hoffman Estates' Isabel Chiavari. Going to the wrestlebacks at 1:15, Matthias Ashley Basmajian swoops in a double leg takedown on Georgia Hay from Lake Zurich. Hay sprawls on Basmajian to get the points, but the Mustang overpowers her opponent by pushing Hay onto the mat and putting the bear on her back for the pin. Basmajian forfeits her finals match after hurting her leg, resulting in Schaumburg's Madison Meyer taking the third place spot. Basmajian earns fourth place and a trip down to state. She's the first Metea Valley girls wrestler to ever qualify for the IHSA state meet. Wrestling at 120 pounds for wrestlebacks is Metea Valley's Janiyah Moore on top of Glenbard West Carolina Konopka. The Hilltopper overpowers the Mustang as Konopka goes for the takedown points, and she would go on to win her wrestleback against Moore. Konopka would also go on to secure third place against Oswego's Aliyah Roldan. At 125 pounds for wrestlebacks, Red Hawk Desi Azar swoops down to pick up the leg of Glenbard West Valentina Fantoni. Azar holds on to the Hilltopper's leg, hopping around and getting the takedown points. Azar continues to overpower her opponent throughout the rest of the match as the Red Hawk wins this one 16-7. Azar automatically qualifies for state after a third-place finish due to a forfeit from Lamont's Molly O'Connor. She joins Basmajian as the two Naperville area girls wrestlers to make the IHSA state meet. Azar is the second Red Hawk to ever qualify for states after Ellen Pearl last season. The final match of the day is at 140. Metea Valley's Olketa Pakari sprawls on top of Natalie Corona of McHenry. Pakari gets her takedown points, but Corona goes for the sit-out and gets the escape point. In the end, Corona gains the upper hand by rolling the Mustang onto her back and sealing the deal with the pin. Pakari is also named a state alternate. Corona goes on to secure a third-place spot by forfeit over Frem's Lloyd Kowalczyk and a trip down to state. The win for the overall sectional meet goes to Schaumburg High School with a score of 96.5. Bennett Academy Hockey took on York White in the Blackhawk Cup. Senior captain Hudson Schley puts in 2 perfect passes to help Bennett advance to the round of 16. With under 10 minutes left in the game, the Red Wings trail 1-0. Schley and Davin Frasco win the puck back for Bennett, and the captain places the pass on the money to Owen Ryle. Ryle scores off a nice move to tie it up. Then, in overtime, Schley works in Gretzky's office before finding a wide-open Davin Frasco, who snipes it home for the winner. Some great playmaking and passing from Schley helps lift Bennett past York White in the Blackhawk Cup. That wraps up another episode of Naperville Sports Weekly. Come back again next week to see if any of our girls basketball teams are able to bring home a regional championship. You can find all our highlights, feature stories, and community sports on nctv17.org. You can also find us across all social media platforms at nctv17. For Naperville Sports Weekly, I'm Joe Kennedy, and we'll see you again next week.